Now, Mr. President, on another matter, yesterday the Senate advanced the nomination of Professor Amy Barrett, President Trump's impressive nominee to be a judge on the Seventh Circuit Court of Appeals. She is the first of 4 strong nominees to our nation's circuit courts that the Senate will confirm this week. Professor Barrett's experience as a distinguished law professor at the University of Notre Dame shows her qualifications to serve our nation on the federal bench. She is going to be an asset to our judiciary. Now, of course, some on the left have tried to invent any reason to prevent this president's nominees from advancing. For an outstanding nominee like Professor Barrett, their task was not easy. They can't attack her credentials, which are truly impressive. They can't attack her belief in the rule of law. Professor Barrett's writings and her testimony clearly show a nominee who will uphold our Constitution and our nation's laws as they are written, not as she wishes they were. Now, unbelievably, some on the political left, including some of our Democratic colleagues, are actually criticizing Professor Barrett for a law review article she co-wrote back in law school by saying it says the opposite of what it actually says. They claim that Professor Barrett wrote that a judge should put her personal beliefs ahead of the rule of law when, in fact, she said a judge should not do that. Exactly the opposite. She wrote that if a judge's personal views were to impede that judge's ability to impartially apply the law, then the judge should recuse herself from the case. As the co-author of that article and current president of Catholic University recently put it, the case against Professor Barrett is so flimsy, that you have to wonder whether there isn't some other unspoken cause for their objection. It does make you wonder. To those using this matter as cover to oppose Professor Barrett because of her personally held religious beliefs, let me remind you there are no religious tests, none, for public office in this country. That's not how we do things here. Our government and our nation are made better through the service of qualified people of faith. That will surely be true of Professor Amy Barrett. I look forward to voting to confirm this accomplished law professor and devoted mother of 7 later today, and I would urge our colleagues to join me. Once we do, the Senate will advance another of President Trump's well-qualified circuit court nominees, Michigan Supreme Court Justice Joan Larson, to serve on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Sixth Circuit. Justice Larson is the second of 3 accomplished women whom the Senate will consider this week for appointment to our circuit courts. I assume that all 3 of these impressive women will receive strong support from our Democratic colleagues who never seem to miss an opportunity to talk about the war on women. Here's what nominees like Larson and Barrett and the others we'll consider this week represent for our federal judiciary: equal justice under the law for all, a fair shake for every litigant. What a refreshing departure from President Obama and his so-called empathy standard for selecting judicial nominees. Really, just another of the left's ideological purity tests, and one that was anything but empathetic for individuals on the other side of the case. If you're the litigant for whom the judge does not have empathy, you're in a tough position before such a judge. Finally, I'd like to express my gratitude once again to Chairman Chuck Grassley for his continued work to bring these outstanding nominees to the Senate floor.